Hi, my name is Tay Nancy Huynh, and I'm a third-year PhD candidate and course instructor from the Faculty of Kinesiology and Physical Education at the University of Toronto. I'm also currently an occasional teacher at the Toronto District School Board. I currently have my hair tied and front ends sweeping my face. I'm in my late 20s and identify as a Vietnamese woman. I currently am seated and I'm wearing a knit blazer with a checkered pattern and a white t-shirt, and I'm wearing black jeans and also have a jade necklace on. My lived experience, having been both an educator and researcher from the Jane and Finch community, has well informed the processes that I approach this work with. I think that it's a really essential part of the work overall that we're doing, and to have that relationship already been built made this work a lot easier and smoother for kind of the steps that we needed to take. And my research could not have been done without the support of my supervisor, Dr. Kelly Arbor-Nikotopoulos, and my committee members, Dr. Rebecca Bassett-Gunter from York University and Dr. Michael Atkinson, who's from the University of Toronto. I would also like to thank Special Olympics Canada for funding me through their Canadian research grant. This video serves as a knowledge translation tool for my dissertation titled Co-Production of a Mixed Abilities Physical Education Course, a case study of a school in a marginalized community in Toronto. The purpose of my dissertation is to create an interdisciplinary course for youth with and without intellectual and developmental disabilities at the high school level to participate in physical activities together. In this video, I'll delve into the contents of my dissertation, which comprises of 3 distinct studies. As a broad overview, all 3 of these studies were implemented in the same school site. The theoretical underpinnings of this research is premised in the theory of intersectionality and the quality participation framework. The use of these frameworks together supports the voices of youth with varying identities, as well as ensures that youth have quality experiences within the course itself. For more information on quality participation, you can look at the description. But for study 1, what we did was an exploratory case study that identified the thoughts and perceptions that the school community had towards the Mixed Abilities course. The school community consisted of youth with and without intellectual and developmental disabilities, educational assistants, teachers, and administration. Study 2 consisted of advisory groups participated in a modified nominal group technique to generate the structure and the targeted outcomes that the school community were interested in for the course. And study 3 was a scoping review to investigate existing evidence for physical education interventions for youth with IDD. And finally, the amalgamation of these studies were integrated to create interdisciplinary mixed abilities physical education course. So in study 1, we conducted semi-structured interviews with 20 participants from the school community. This included youth with and without intellectual and developmental disabilities, administration, educational assistants, and teachers. Here we wanted to explore the community's thoughts towards the Mixed Abilities Physical Education course and the experiential building blocks of quality participation. This included autonomy, belongingness, challenge, engagement, mastering, and meaning. And we also used a guided photo voice throughout this process to provide an equitable opportunity for youth with IDD to be engaged in the research. So the data was analyzed using Winker and Degley's multi-level intersectional analysis, which comprised of 2 parts. The first part looked at identity constructs and compared them to social structures, and part 2 looked at clustering subjects into themes and comparing it into contexts and schools to create generalizations. The main findings of this study was that the school community were extremely interested in supporting the implementation of the course, which is why we felt comfortable moving into study 2. In study 2, we conducted a modified nominal group technique to investigate the outcomes, structural components, and best practices that the school community were interested in for the Mixed Abilities Physical Education course. The study included 10 participants split up into 2 advisory groups. The first advisory group consisted of adults in the school community, including a member of Special Olympics Ontario, an educational assistant, a special education consultant, and a physical education teacher, as well as an administrator. And the second included youth with and without IDD, so included 3 youth with intellectual and developmental disabilities and 2 youth without. Qualitative data was analyzed using thematic analysis, and quantitative data was analyzed using the summing of votes. And basically what came out of this work was that there were really important key things for both of the groups. The first was that for staff, having a 3-part lesson plan and planning the course with both a physical education teacher and a special education teacher were really important. And some of those implementation strategies for the course itself included having adequate staffing available, having staff and student buy-in, and also having a variety of equipment and resources available to them. Some of the outcomes that the staff also found that were really important for the staff advisory group included quality participation, fitness, and socialization. And for students, the outcomes that were really important to them were making new friends, improving their fitness, and sports participation. So study 3 was titled The Scope and Review of Physical Education Interventions for Youth with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. The objective of the literature review was to summarize the literature available on physical education interventions for youth with IDD. And ideally, what we were looking for were structural components and what outcomes were focused on in the interventions included in the study and the best practices. Some of the results that we found were that successful programs always included an experienced instructor, co-created courses, peer mentorship, and trained staff. And this evidence was all taken into consideration in the creation of the Mixed Abilities Physical Education course. So now that the research is concluded, all the data that we have were analyzed and combined to generate the units for the Mixed Abilities Physical Education course. There's actually 5 units in the curriculum, all that I'm really excited about. And they're all premised in quality participation for youth with IDD and very intersectional identities. So Unit 1 is titled Meaningful Inclusion, which consists of goal setting, relationship building, and creating inclusive spaces. Unit 2 includes building body awareness and overall wellness to improve balance within youth with IDD and youth without IDD as well. Unit 3 is focused on coming together through team sports and cooperation. That's through kind of badminton, track and field, and different types of sports. Unit 4 is all about incorporating fun into fitness activities, so bringing the fun back into fitness. And Unit 5 is about celebrating together. So this includes team celebrations, team games, and group presentations. This Mixed Abilities Physical Education curriculum can be used by teachers, programmers, and researchers interested in implementing programming for individuals with disabilities. There are example lessons and learning objectives highlighted throughout the curriculum. For more information, please see the description. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to contact our team. The email will be placed in the description as well. Lastly, we want to acknowledge and thank all the staff and students who helped support this work and make it all possible. We are grateful for your dedication and commitment to providing more equitable physical education opportunities for youth with disabilities.